Okay, so today we talked about negative numbers and their placement on a number line. A lot of times, whatever number shows up first in the problem, I end up writing first, and that's not how it would show up on a number line. On a number line from left to right, left being towards the negative numbers and right being towards the positive numbers, like if I put a zero in the beginning, in the middle. Every positive number is definitely bigger than any negative number. It doesn't matter what the digits actually are. On a vertical number line, when they're talking about temperature, same thing. You've got 0 degrees. Anything above that is a positive. Anything below that's going to be a negative. And so a lot of times I write the problem based on if the number shows up first, I write it first. And that's not necessarily how it would show up on a number line. So I'll try to show both of those. So the first problem here says a city that has an elevation of 17 meters is closer to sea level than a city that has an elevation of 40 meters. Yes, it totally does. So negative 17 is closer to zero than negative 40, like on a vertical number line. And so that one is true. An elevation of 35 feet is the same as negative 35 feet, and that is false. Those are totally different places. They're like 70 feet apart. The temperature of negative 4 is the same as 4 below 0. Yes, that is absolutely true. Negative 4 degrees is the same as 4 degrees below. So you don't say negative 4 degrees below. Negative 4 degrees below would actually be 4 degrees above. It gets crazy. Don't do it. Says a city that's not listed on the table has a higher elevation than San Juan, Puerto Rico. So San Juan, Puerto Rico is at negative 4 feet. I mean, New Orleans is at negative 7. Amsterdam's at negative 2. Those are definitely places that have to worry about flooding from storms and sea level rise. It says 0 would definitely be above. So like negative 4, 0 would be up above that. 4 would be above that. Heck, even negative 2 would be above that. But negative 10, negative 7, those are both below it. Looking at the number line, if that's 0, I've got negative 1, negative 2, negative 3 counting down, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7. Going the other way, 2, 3, 4, 5. San Juan is at negative 4. Would be a dot right there. New Orleans is at negative 7, which is be a dot way down there. Amsterdam is at negative 2. Jakarta is at 3. Taipei is at 5. And Tunis is at 0. And so I'd have dots at all of those locations if I did this online. Mio says 2 is less than 4. That is true. 2 is less than 4. But then he says that negative 2 must be less than negative 4. And that is totally wrong. When you switch the signs on this, the symbol in the middle also has to change directions. So it ends up being that negative 2 is greater than negative 4. On a number line, I would have written that the other way around. I would have put negative 4 is less than negative 2, but that's the same thing. In both cases, the little alligator is going after the bigger number. So Mio was wrong. Nasir says 3 is less than negative. That's definitely not right, because any positive number is going to be bigger. So he's a no. Any positive number is going to be bigger. But he says because 3 is closer to 0. Well, 3 is definitely closer to 0, but 3 is on the positive side of 0, and negative 7 is on the negative side of 0. On a number line, that is how it's going to work. Always try to show 0 on number lines when given the option. Of these places which has the lowest is negative 45, Boca, California. That's not a place that you'd want to be. Water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit and 0 degrees Celsius. That's why Celsius is a better system, but we still use Fahrenheit here in the United States. But to get to negative 45 degrees from 32 degrees, wow. you're looking at 77 degrees difference. That's 77 degrees below freezing. Not a place for warm-blooded people. Heck, polar bears would probably not like that. Here you've got Tallahassee, Florida is at -2, and then the CCC Fire Camp F-16 Georgia is at 17. CCC is a Civilian Conservation Corps. It was like right after the Great Depression. The government created a bunch of jobs where people would go and build like campsites, trails in Yosemite, roads, bridges, things like that. That they gave people jobs working for the government to get people out of the Great Depression. It ended in like 1942 because that's when we joined World War II and all those people shifted over. So CCC, Civilian Conservation Corps, built a lot of really cool stuff around the country. And now that's, they're all like 80 years old, the places they built, but they're still hanging there. I got to write this in a statement. I could write -2 is greater than -17. But if you were looking at it like a number line wise, it would be -17 is less than -2. In each case, the alligator is going after the -2. -2 is bigger. Which Coventry, Connecticut or Mount Carroll, Illinois? We're looking at -32 versus -38. I have, again, -32 is greater than -38. But if I was to do it the way a number line looks, it would be -38 is less than -32. Yeah. Then we've got a review. 2 to the third power is 8 times 4 is 32. So then I've got 8 divided by 4, which is 2. 2 to the fourth is 16. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16 minus 4 is 12. And then I've got 8 plus 4 to the third is 16 times 4 is 64. I get 72. Oh, yay, I got them all correct. I totally faked this. I did it online earlier, and then so that I could show you that's what it should look like. Everything is correct. If you have any questions, please ask in class. If not, I'll see you in the next video.